Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun Benzion. Today's daf is Yutet Amanal Yutet, number 19 in Kesubos. We're talking. I want to discuss today about a concept found throughout Shas that Adam Karavaz Del Atzmo Adam Meisim Rasha. These two phrases are usually said together. Now we know Adam Karavaz Del Atzmo, right? There's no more Krovim or Psulim Le'edas. When you need real Eidas, a Karov, a relative, mother, father, sister, whatever, these relatives, even distant relatives are pasal eidos. I mean, they're abonon. Sometimes, certainly, krovim brothers and things like that are psul eidos dal raisa. The Gemara says in many places that afilu Moshe and Aaron, who are the most neman people in the world, they would never lie. They're still not believed that together they're brothers, or Aaron would be neman for Moshe, because the Torah said krovim are apostles. It's not because the chashash are going to lie. So when the Gemara says Adam Karavei Tel Atzmo, it means he's a relative to himself. There's no closer relative to a person than himself. So he's like Krovim. It sounds like from the Gemara he's Krovim. It's like Zeres HaKasov. Ein Adam Meisim Atzmo Rasha. And then the Gemara adds on Ein Adam Meisim Atzmo Rasha. He's not believed to denigrate himself, to say something bad about himself. Is a relative, is a person really considered to be a relative of himself? Is it Zeres HaKasov? Or is it because he's lying? What does the Gemara mean over there? Ein Adam Meisim Atzmo Rasha sounds like person wouldn't say something bad about himself, and it sounds like he's lying. And Rasha, that's what it sounds like to me. And Rasha, a person wouldn't say something bad about himself. People, I mean, the truth is we're going to see that people do say a lot of bad things about themselves. Comedians make fun of themselves. I always hate to see that when you have a comedian. People say it's so human when people get up there and they denigrate, they make fun of themselves, or they make fun of their own religion or their own type of people. No, you should be proud of who you are. You should highlight your strong points, your milas, your positive things. Don't talk about your negative thing. Everyone says, no, it's great when you can, what is it? What's the word? I'm forgetting a lot of words these days. Self-denigration, self-effacing, you show that you're not so important. No. I want to see people that are confident, people that are talking about their strong points. Everyone has weaknesses and everyone has strong points. Why are you talking about your weaknesses? Why are you making fun of yourself? Don't make fun of yourself. Everyone laughs so long. Like talk about people, they're balding or they have gray hair, they're old or, they're fat, something like that. I don't like to hear that. I mean, you're lowering your self-confidence. You're making yourself lower in people's eyes. The only one that's going to advocate for you, and immediately, if you want to advocate, the best person to advocate for yourself is yourself. You better be talking about your good things, not your bad things. So, in other Meisim Atzmo Rasha, that's what I would assume means a person is not going to say something bad about himself because he's not believed to say something. Or if somebody's lying, he wouldn't say something bad about himself. Let's go with the Gemara. Let's analyze from the text of the Gemara. We started this Gemara yesterday, the top of Yutem and Aleph. The Gemara is trying to figure out a mayor argued with our Mishnah. They said, Anusim Hayinu, even though you have Pesha Asa Pesha Hitter, it wouldn't be believed according to our mayor. The Gemara says, Rav Chisda on the second line of Yutem and Aleph says the reason, Kasar Mayor Adam Sha'amru Lahem Chismu Sheker Val Tahargu Yahargu Al Yosmu Sheker. He says because we're going to see that even though the halakha is not like that, you don't give up your life if someone threatens your life, if you don't sign falsely on the loan document. You sign falsely, you don't give up your life. But he said because people think that you're supposed to give up your life for that, it's a severe thing to sign a $100,000 loan falsely. So therefore they think that. So therefore they think they did the wrong decision by signing falsely. So therefore it's like another Meisim Atzmo Rasha. We don't believe them. Amlei Rava retorts to Rav Chisda, Hashta ilu asal kaman lamluchi amrinan lehu zilu chasum l'teistalun. The halacha really is that you did the right thing. Right? We're not going to say to them rhetorically. We're not going to say to them, "Why did you sign? You did the right thing." So it seems from the what's the difference on having the maskan? The havamina, according to Rav Chisda, seems to be the reason Eidah the Meisim Atzmo Rasha is because a person doesn't say something bad about himself, right? And Rava responds to him, no. That even though people really think they should sign false, they did something wrong, right? No, the real reason, technically, it's not called Ein Adam Meisim Atzmo Rasha because they did the right thing. So, is it because of what they're thinking, or is it because the actual halacha? So, now Havamina, we would say the reason Ein Adam Meisim Atzmo Rasha, it is called Ein Adam Meisim Atzmo Rasha because he thinks he's doing the wrong thing. So, therefore, the chashash that he's lying, but the maskana lefi Rava, and this is the maskana in the Gemara. The Einan Meisim Rasha is not because we're concerned the person is lying. It's like Rashi says in Yevamos Daf Chaf Hey, is that a person's not person doesn't have the power to incriminate himself. You don't have the power to incriminate yourself, even though Eidach Haneman Bisurin, right? A person is Neman Beisser to say about his own shchita, let's say about his own, right? A woman's Neman to say her kitchen is kosher. A person's Neman to say his shchita was a kosher shchita. Eidach Haneman Bisurin. When it comes to mechayiv yourself, the Torah didn't give you that koach. The Torah didn't give you the power to cause yourself to say that you violated Isser, to cause punishment to yourself. Torah didn't give you that power. Torah spared you from that, because Torah knows people are self-incriminating. Torah spared you from that power. So you see from Maskana of the Gemara that even though most people think, right, they're incriminating themselves, right, and therefore we should have a chash that they're lying, right, because we'd assume no. We say really, people would denigrate themselves. This is the truth. Rav is saying the truth. People would denigrate themselves. However, the reason we don't believe him, right? We assume that people would denigrate themselves, and we're concerned they're lying. We think that people wouldn't denigrate themselves. So when they denigrate themselves, we think they're lying. Right? The maskana of the Gemara is that really people would denigrate themselves. Really would denigrate themselves. Would say bad things about themselves, which is the truth. People really say a lot. Most people say bad things about themselves. Comedians make fun of themselves a lot of times. However, even though, right, there's a chash that you're lying, right? Still, it's right. Even though there's no chash that you're lying. Right, because people would say bad things about themselves. Still, nonetheless, you're not believed because ain't the Meisim Atzmo Rasha. And here, you're not Meisim Atzmo Rasha because you did the right thing, and that's also borne out in the Gemara on Yud Amud Beis, where the Gemara has a discussion by Mudah Hayud Varenu. Right, it's a machlokus in the Gemara of Nachman says Einem Monim, but Rashi says Mudah Hayud Varenu and Monim. What's the case? The case is where people said that we were witnesses. Someone coerced somebody to sell their house to him, sell their field to somebody. And he said, if you not sign on the shtar, you threaten the Edom also, if you not sign on the shtar, so then I'll kill you, I'll kill the Edom. So he makes this shtar happen. And, the person makes a mudah, the person selling the house, he admits to the Edom, listen, I don't want to sell this house, but I'm forced to. So he makes a mudah. So the Edom, when they come to Benzion and they're trying to validate who does the house belong to, so the Edom say Mudah Yudareinu. The guy admitted he didn't want to sell it; he was just coerced to sell it. So, who do we believe? Do we believe them or not? So Rav Nachman says we don't believe them. Rashi says we do believe them. Zeni Nisan Likase, because you have to write it down because the person's going to be killed otherwise. So therefore, this is the cause. What's a machlokas of them? Why does Rav Nachman argue and say he's not believed over there? So again, this comes back to the idea of Eina the Meisim Atzmo Rasha. When they say Mudag Yidrayim Eina Monim, he thinks the reason Eina the Meisim Atzmo Rasha is because people wouldn't denigrate themselves. They wouldn't say bad things about themselves. So they're not Neman over here because it's an Aveira what's going on. It's Aveira going on. This person is forcing someone to sell it to them. It's something which is illegal what's going on over here. So therefore, the tadbit that we sign on a shtar like that, right, it's a chash in a Meisim Atzmo Rasha, it's a chash that he's lying. He's lying, and he's karov to Atzmo. It's chash negia. He's karov. He's lying, and a person wouldn't denigrate himself, wouldn't say something bad about himself, saying mudah. I was talking to mudah. So therefore, we now believe him. And the maskana is like Mara Ramashi, like we said on Amana Aleph, like Rava, that really no. Obviously, people would denigrate themselves, right? We do believe them over here. They would say something bad about themselves because there's no other option over here. Lafia emes, there's no other option over there. Even though in their minds they think they're doing the wrong thing, but Lafia the emes, they have to do it. So therefore, we do believe them because even though where there's suspicion, people are lying. People do denigrate themselves. Even though people even though people in the Havamim we thought I'm getting confused today. Even the Havamim we thought um, people don't denigrate themselves. The Maskana is they do denigrate themselves, right? And there's no chash meshaker. There's no chash meshaker, and they did the right thing. Did the right thing over here. So therefore, we believe them because even though they thought they did the wrong thing, but they ended up doing the right thing. So therefore, it's okay. But the maskana of the Gemara is that yes, people do denigrate themselves. People do make fun of themselves. I don't agree with it, but it is the Metzias. People do make fun of themselves. It's not a great idea, but that's the share for today. Hope you enjoyed, and see you in Mishnah Yomi.